Hi, my name's Alison Marsden, and I'm here with Santa Mike Facherty. Facherty, is that how you pronounce it?
Why not? It's faculty,
Why
but
not?
it's close enough.
Facherty, sorry, Facherty. And today we're going to talk about our books that we've both written. Mike's written this lovely book about the Gingerbread Man, children's book, and I've written this book about how to rebalance your diet with the power of the moon. So, what inspired you to write this lovely children's book, Mike?
Well, I've been portraying Father Christmas and then subsequently Santa Claus for nearly 40 years. And to fill in a home visit, I like to tell a story. And I was telling the story of the gingerbread man, but someone said it's a little bit cruel at the end. So we came up with the idea of telling the story of Santa and the gingerbread man, which didn't have such a cruel ending. And people said, "Oh, is that available as a book?" And I said, it isn't yet, but it will be soon." And I made it into a book. And it's really nice because people tell me they've made it part of their Christmas tradition. But that and my other books, they actually read them over the Christmas holidays every year as sort of part of what they do.
Oh,
I don't know for how long because children outgrow it, don't they?
yeah, 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 they will outgrow it.
Yeah.
Maybe they could get on to doing the baking at the end.
Yeah, do the
Nice to
activities.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah, the activities at the end. So how
yeah.
long did it take you to write it then?
A couple of hours.
A couple of
But
hours, that's all, yeah.
the actual main story, because I'd told it so often, then it felt like it wasn't enough for a book, and I came up with a recipe for the gingerbread man and telling people how to make it. And then the other party activities that it could be used.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, that's the thing with children's books. They're short anyway, aren't they? So,
Yeah, they tend to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're never going to be that long. But you've got all those lovely illustrations.
They're nice pictures, aren't they? I was very, very lucky with Mudassir M. Abid, who's actually illustrated. Oh, you can't even see it. He's illustrated. That's his name down the bottom there, where you can't see it. He's
Yeah.
illustrated all my books. I've only
Ah,
got two of them, but
illustrated audiobooks.
yeah, we just formed a partnership early on, and I liked the style of his drawings, and he quite liked how I wrote, so we put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the drawings probably took a lot longer than writing it, isn't it? And what
yeah,
picture you're going
yeah,
to draw.
yeah.
Yeah.
It took quite a while. Sort of, I gave an idea. What you do when you're doing a children's book is you write the story, then you write the story, you bear in mind the illustrations, and then you tend to give the artist some instructions for each page that they're going to illustrate. And he was very good at following the instructions.
Oh, great. So that went really, really simply then.
Yeah, it made it a lot easier.
And was this the first book that you wrote?
Yes, Santa and the Gingerbread Man. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
So as it went so easily, you thought, oh, let's write another one then.
Well, I had another couple of stories that I told that I thought would make good books. And at the moment, I'm struggling with finishing my fourth one, which
Okay.
is Huff and Puff, Three Little Pigs in Peril. And it's the story of the three little pigs. Only it happens about Christmas. And the person who comes down the chimney is not the wolf.
Ah,
Santa.
it's you.
Yeah. So it's got a nice funny twist, really.
Yeah, that's got a nice ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Can I ask you about your book?
Yeah.
Do you want to show everyone your book? Because you saw what happened with mine, it disappeared. Okay, yep. The Jigsaw Method, building balance. And it's into your diet with the power of the moon.
Yes.
And I think some people might not understand about the moon side of it, but we'll come to that. Yeah. What made you want to actually write the book?
Same as you, really. I would tell people about the things that they could do to help rebalance their diet. And over time, I did little workshops and handouts, and it got bigger and bigger. The workshop, instead of half a day, became 3 half days, and by the end of the 3 half-day workshop, there were quite a few handouts, and they just said, well, could you put all this in a book, because it's really useful. And so I started to write it as a book, just to collect all that information. And in fact, all my clients would say, what I find really beneficial is the book as a reference afterwards. That's what they really liked about it. So I thought, well, I'll carry on writing it as a book then. And I spoke to some publishers, and they say, oh, you need to add more case studies. So I put that in, and then joining up these chapters together to sort of have a flow. So it all came to my clients really, and your same as you with your, obviously you don't call them children.
With visits,
visits.
What I was wondering is the book, can the book just be used standalone with people who are not taking your workshops? Because it feels as though it could, from what I've read of it.
That's what I wanted to write it as, that they could actually do the whole process on their own without me. That got to a point where I thought, wow, this has been so valuable to people, and they keep saying more people need to know about this, because it makes changing your diet so much easier. So I thought, I need to write it so it's totally independent. And there are some book support things at the end, so you can listen to recordings as well.
Yes, the audio and the other stuff.
But then not everyone likes to do these things themselves. So I've also said, if you want to book some one-to-ones, you can do.
A very generous offer, because I think it's £150 worth of a free one-to-one. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's
helping me get feedback from the book. See? So, because I'm always working with trying to refine it, get a better quality, and that's this process has been repeated for about 15 years. So it's been refined and refined and refined until eventually I got to a place where I thought, I need to explain this really simply. And that's where the jigsaw came in. And I think that's why it's really good, both of us are kind of get this child's thing, the jigsaw, because it's a children's thing, making it really simple. Hopefully one day I'll get some merchandise and actually make a jigsaw, because I want children to be educated with it as well. So I've got a card game that I do, which isn't in the book actually, but you can make, when I do my programs with clients, we do a card game at the end of those 4 chapters with the 4 corners, so that they really consolidate.
Like the 4 suits.
The 4 suits. It's a bit like that, but we create food with it.
I love the idea of starting with the 4 corners. See if I can remember. Rehydration, glycemic index, pH balance, oxygen. So therefore that must be blood sugars, the second one. About right. I may have been in the wrong order, but it's such a good idea, that because it's a really good metaphor for what it is. The thing that I wasn't sure of until I read it was the whole moon thing. And I wonder if you could explain sort of the impact of moon phases on absorption and detoxification.
So when
sorry, is this the right place for that? I mean, I think it's a good idea that people might understand about it up front.
So when you make a jigsaw, you also look at the cover of the box for the picture. And that's what I make the analogy. The moon, what's the moon doing when you're eating food? When you're sleeping, when you're exercising, whatever. And if you find a period of time where you can get everything in balance in the phases of the moon, then the rest of the week you get out of balance. And we in our world are always marrying 2 opposing energies. So we have day and night, up and down, off and on, and we have gravity. Yeah, and believe it or not, gravity pulls up us as well. So and that's what we're working with. So you've got a full moon and a new moon, so where there's no moon in the sky. So with our digestion, we take things in and we eliminate. And that's put with the emphasis on the book is we've put too much focus on taking things in and not looking at the elimination process.
Yeah.
So the moon phases are monthly, but also you have a 24-hour moon phase. So in the morning, say for example, our body is going through the elimination phase. Yeah. And so if we ride that with what we eat, then we clear out all the toxins and we feel energized. Our liver regenerates our cells. And then because we've got more energy, we're more likely to do more exercise. Yeah. And you're in a positive cycle.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
I think so, because I was thinking people might think, oh, the moon, what would that have to do with anything? And that's exactly what it has to do with everything.
Yeah.
And so this is probably why you're looking more in the morning to taking in liquids and having the warm water, and then stopping taking in anything after 8 p.m. Is that right? Is that every day, or is that just on a rebalance day? Oh, do you want to explain what a rebalance day is? Sorry, I'm jumping all over.
Yeah, so if you think of it as, because our life is so busy and we have lots of things that we have to interact with. We've got a family, their routine, and they might have a completely different routine, what you want to do. And so I say just choose 24 hours to start off with. And then people can manage things. It's in a smaller chunk.
Yeah.
So, and it's very difficult to know, to answer some of your questions, because I need to know where we're starting from. Do you see? So where are you starting from? Because if you're eating at 10 o'clock at night, a roast beef meal, and in the morning you have a Coke, that's where we're starting from. Do you see?
Yeah.
So, but not everyone might be doing that. They might be on a vegan diet, and they finish eating at 8, but they don't have any breakfast. Do you see? So it all depends on where we're starting on. But I talk about the rebalance, which is just a 24-hour period, and we just look at 2 meals: your evening meal and your breakfast. And they are more manageable things, I think, for people. Yeah.
Yes, and as you say, if it's just one day at a time, you just do one day in the week, that's a more achievable. It's a bit like if you start wanting to train for a marathon, you don't go and run 20 miles the first time. You start with small distances and then gradually expand. And I guess it's the same with the food cycle.
Yeah. So we do one 24-hour week, and then I want you to go back and eat what you normally eat, because you're doing it gradually, and also because you've got imbalance for 24 hours, when you eat food that take you out of balance, there's a bigger difference. And because there's a bigger difference, your body then starts reporting changes, and it's through that it becomes easier to make different choices in the food that you eat. That's really the heart of it. So that you're empowered. You're not reading something, so I need to eat this, and you haven't got an opportunity to listen to your body. So this is an opportunity for you to listen and notice, and then think, right, well, I now know that this thing that I eat takes me out of balance. And because you get recipes, you could say, well, I'm going to tweak that recipe and have that instead of this other thing.
So not only are you more attuned to listen, the signal coming to you is louder because your body now knows, because you've trained it a bit with the rebalance day. That all makes great sense.
And because you're eliminating, you get a really good high feeling. And that's a lot of reason why people have coffee in the morning, because that forces your body to eliminate. And so they get this uplift.
Yeah.
So if you think, well, let's use foods that will eliminate us, that don't give us any steps back. Because not everyone agrees with coffee.
No, there's a lot of people drinking decaffeinated coffee, in which case, why don't you just drink the warm water? I guess it's the flavor. I don't know. Alison, where can people find your book? Sorry, I turned away to look at it. The Jigsaw Method.
Yeah, so it's on Amazon. But if you go to my website, there's a link to it. And there's a link to look inside.
Yeah. Will you sorry interrupting. Will you put a link to your website in the show notes so that people can actually go to your website?
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. And where do you get your book from, Mike?
Well, mine is mainly on Amazon, except at Christmas when some of the local shops carry it. Not just the bookshop, but mainly it's on Amazon. All three of the existing ones are on Amazon. But they're under Henley Santa, not Santa Mike, because Henley Santa was my author name when I wrote them.
Henley Santa.
Yeah.
Right. So should we put that in the show notes as well?
That would be brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can send you links for a link for one of them that then people can see. That could be in the show notes.
Yeah, that would be in the show notes. Yeah. Yeah. So you're coming up to your busy period now with your books.
Yes.
So you said that you can buy it locally. Where do you live then?
Caversham in Reading. So it's been on sale here at like an antique shop and at the local bookshop.
Oh, brilliant.
It's quite nice because it means people who might not even use Amazon get a chance to see it, because coming up on the first Friday in December, we have the late night shopping here in Caversham, and I'm the reverse Santa at the bookshop, taking presents and books and toys and things to give to I'm not sure about the word, children in hospital and disadvantaged families. There it was. I couldn't quite remember the word disadvantaged.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So it's a nice chance for people to buy something to give to kids that otherwise might not get anything much at Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think that's great that people can go in and physically buy it and get the buying experience. So it's at local shops in Kendal, which is where I live.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get it on Waterstones, but that's still in the pipeline. Yeah.
Excellent. And I seem to remember you were working with a local cafe, maybe doing a rebalance day or something.
Yeah, so I have this vision because my clients tell me I've got it sorted now. I can eat really well when I'm at home, but as soon as I go out, I really struggle. I can't find any food that is right for me. So I'm working with 2 cafes at the moment to do a book launch to start off with, but also we're doing an Eat Light Tonight event where you get to eat the evening meal that's in the book, the recipes for the evening meal, and connecting to a community of like-minded people. And there's also online support with that. So we meet once a month in person and then once a month also online to see how we're doing and if anyone's got any questions and what we can learn from each other as a community. So my vision is for all cafes and restaurants to have an Eat Light Tonight menu, just like we have starters, main meal, desserts. There's an Eat Light Tonight, which is in line with all those 4 corners of the jigsaw. Yeah.
Well, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it, if it spread and spread and spread?
Yeah, because people, they don't want to eat all that full combined protein and carbohydrate together, and yet they don't feel as if they can say, well, can I tweak the menu and do it like this and do it like that? And I think that the more people will want to eat like that. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so what events have you got coming up then?
Oh, quite a few sort of later in the year, the Christmas stuff. Breakfast with Santa in a few places where I suspect people won't be eating a balanced breakfast.
Yeah.
Santa cruises with Hobbs of Henley, where we're going up and down the river, and they come back, and then I come onto the grotto on the boat,
Oh, that sounds
which
great.
is lovely. You see a lot of lovely children that way, and they're all happy because they've had an entertainer. Bertie Slippers has entertained them through the cruise, and then they come back, and I'm waving to them and come onto the boat, and they sort of help. They lead me through to the grotto. It's wonderful. It's great fun.
Oh, that's brilliant. I bet
Yeah,
this is the best time of your year, isn't it?
absolutely my best time of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I wish you all the best with it, and thank you very much for telling me about your book, Mike.
Oh, thank you for asking me, and thank you for writing this book. It's going to be really helpful. As I say, we're only 40 odd pages in, and already Sue's doing things like soaking her pumpkin seeds overnight, so
Oh,
they're
brilliant.
better easier to absorb in the morning.
Easy to absorb. And does she notice the difference?
I don't know. I don't know.
Early
She hasn't
days.
actually said, but I will ask her. But I bet she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, I'd love to hear
But
how she gets on.
yeah, but thank you so much for writing this book. I think it's a book that's needed, whereas mine, what perhaps wasn't needed, it, but it was fun.
Yeah. Well, yours is definitely fun, and I like the twist at the end. Oh,
Yes.
I won't say anything. All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
See you all. Bye, everyone.
Bye, folks.